representing PTAC, which is the Pennsylvania Teachers Advisory Committee. I almost didn't make it here today, and it's not because of the traffic. It's because 2 weeks ago, I asked for a personal day, and last week my principal emailed me and said, could you pick another day because we don't have enough substitutes for you. Told him how important it was. He gave me the day to come, and ironically this morning when I taught a half day, the STEM teacher who was supposed to come in and teach a STEM lesson got pulled to substitute. So we don't know about the teacher shortage here, but what I really want to talk about is non-cognitive skills as defined in the annex and the revision to chapter 49. I really appreciate your attention to the non-cognitive skills, and here's why. Early in my career, I was teaching children academically, but I knew that they needed more than academics. They needed some social and emotional help. And when other teachers were going to get their master's in reading and education, I really felt it was important to get my master's in counseling so I could help children. Over the years, it's helped me deal with such issues as death of a parent, deployment, parents in prison, LGBTQ parents or parents in transition, alcoholism, drugs, and explain to parents what happened to our nation on 9/11. I had a second grade student who came to me a couple years ago. I was his fourth school and I'm just a second grade teacher. He was very angry. His dad had left, mom with just him and his baby sister. He moved across the United States, was in prison. And when he came, he was really frustrated and he was really, really angry. I'm trying to get my counselor to help, but in our school of 400 children, there's one counselor. And she can only do so much. Luckily, we have what's called the ESAP, which is the Elementary Student Assistance Program. So we're able to help the mom get to the agency she needs. That year, we were able to have in-school counseling, and he qualified. I set up a behavioral program for him, and I tried to be as positive as I could with him throughout the year. One of the last days of school, I had a conference with him, and I told him that I was reading the comments on his report card, and he asked me what the word delightful meant. And I said, well, it means that I really enjoyed having you in my room this year. I never saw a child smile so wide. And he smiled next year and the next year every time he saw me. If we don't deal with the child's social emotional issues, it's going to be a struggle to teach that child. Imagine if I didn't have that counseling background. Imagine if we didn't have a program like ESAP and in-school counseling. Imagine if this young boy didn't get the help that he needed at the elementary level. In my school, like I said, we only have one school counselor for 400 students. She can't possibly help everyone who needs it in a day, but that's all we have for now. How many students do we have that struggle with social, emotional issues? How many students are taught how to handle these types of issues? How many teachers are taught? How many student teachers are taught? What kind of professional development do teachers receive in this? The news highlights things that are happening in schools around the nation. I hear about cyberbullying, suicide, school shootings, depression, and anxiety. It saddens me. It saddens me to know that children are injuring or killing themselves or others. These are all mental health issues. I wonder when these emotions or bad thoughts started. Could we have looked for the early signs of this in elementary schools? There's so many programs set up for high school students, even middle school students. Why don't we start in elementary school? Mental illness doesn't always start in high school or middle school. We need to begin helping students in early grades so children can learn how to handle their emotions and their stressors. We need to equip teachers with skills to spot signs of emotional stress and mental illness, and options on how to help students, whether it be a referral service or dealing with the children in the classroom. I had a pastor who constantly told me that many hands make light work. I interpret this to mean that if all of the agencies and the groups in this room can work together, we're going to have a bright future in education. Thank you.